respect and patience on every project. But at the end of the day, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, they tend to turn to the guy that does. And a lot of times that's me. And so I started thinking, I kind of need to start doing this because I'm doing it anyway. And it was an easy step for me, I speak film, so I can work with actors, I can work with technicians, and I tend to, my job as an actor is to want to make the people around me better. And that's what a good director does. And so it was an easy
I would imagine that having a long acting career really does inform how you direct actors.
It's really, it's imperative. You need a lot of hours on a set to be a good director. And just one day saying, I want to make a movie, and then throwing yourself into that position, raising money, being a director, doesn't do anybody around you anything because it's like having a Ferrari, but you don't know how to drive. It's really difficult. And there's something really satisfying about being a director and having a vision and sharing that with a team of people, and that team of people working together to create that vision for you. It's very gratifying. It's very, you almost can't really believe it. And making film is the ultimate team sport on any level, if it's low budget.
It's a truly collaborative.
It's an amazing effort on everybody's behalf. And it's the old saying, you're as strong or you're as strong as the weakest link, right? Same goes with film. You have one bad actor, you have one bad cinematographer. It wrecks everything. Oddly enough, I've been in movies that had amazing everything and it was a bad movie, and I've been in movies that had terrible everybody and it was a good movie. So there really is no rhyme or reason. It's just a certain amount of luck that goes into it. But I've been able to raise the game and take something that might not be so great and make it better more often than not, just by effort, just by being the first one there and the last one to leave, and not taking it for granted, and not expecting to be treated a certain way. When I show up, I tell them a lot of times, man, I don't need a big dressing room. I don't need you to pick all the green M&Ms out of my fucking candy bowl. It's really about the work for me. And when you go to the set and you're prepared and you show a new crew or a new cast the level that you're willing to take something and you set that precedent right away, it makes all those people go home that next night and work harder and come back even more prepared the next day because they realize, wow, this dude is not messing around. And that's how I feel when I work with a great actor, and that's how I want to be when I go to work. So it's infectious, and it really makes everybody pay attention.
Did you take any specific lessons as a director from some of the folks that you'd worked with, like Coppola and Spielberg, just to name drop a few?
Yeah, well, those are, you take, it's funny, because you take something from every experience, and it snowballs into your career, and you're able to draw from it forever. Oddly enough, for example, Chris Chulak, who is the creator and director of most of our Southland episodes, probably taught me more than Spielberg or Coppola ever did. Or maybe I was paying attention more.
Well, you were younger back then, so that makes sense. Yeah.
The difference between, with Spielberg and Coppola, you see, most directors are really good at one area. Like they come from the technical aspect and they're really good with cameras and lighting, or they come from the creative aspect and they're good with writing and they're good with actors, but they can't really handle the technical side. What makes Spielberg and Coppola stand out is they're genius at both. They understand characters, they understand scripts, they understand camera, they understand effects, and you get movies like Spielberg. My interest right now is directing episodic television, and I'm heading toward that direction because I can move of me in it, and the rest of it is just like being told what to wear, what to say, when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, and when to come back the next day and do it all again. So it takes a certain kind of person to like it, So I don't know what's going to happen with my kids.
Just kind of a two-parter. First, it's really hard to find video numbers. So for the first picture that didn't quite make its money back officially in box office, and The Second Hitcher, which is on Netflix now, and it's great. Just without being, without giving away figures, did you make better money, or have you continued to make better money off the Second Hitcher film, or did the first one actually pay you more? Or did you come out ahead?
The original Hitcher, it's sort of an enigma because when it first came out into the theaters, like it messed with people.
It's kind of take no prisoners, man.
Well, I remember Ebert, Roger Ebert, and I can't believe this, but he actually, Johnny Carson was around when I did the Hitcher. He actually went on to the Carson show and spent his 10-minute segment on why films like The Hitcher should not be made.
You know you've done something right when that happens.
That fucker lost some sleep, right? I was like,
it's like, yes!
That worked. But oddly enough, they don't make sequels and they don't remake bad movies. And The Hitcher, if you watch it today, even though it was made in '86, it's not a dated movie. It's a very it's a well done movie, and that's one of my proudest achievements. That was considered a low budget movie at the time. We made it for $6 million. It probably made $20 million in the box office, so it was successful, but it wasn't a blockbuster by any means. However, most film fans have a copy of The Hitcher in their collection, and over the years, it's freaked a lot of people out.
Well, it's Hitchcockian in its construct, and I think one of the reasons, again, getting back to one of the reasons it works is, I think, again, because of your physicality, because you make such an ideal focal point, every man, that's in the center of this action. And it's also really kind of telling of your skills as an actor that you were 18 when you did this, and you were able to, how were you kind of able to go to those places, and articulate these experiences?
Well, Dr. Howell helped me.
I don't doubt it. Why, okay, I take back the question. That pretty much covers it.
I was just a kid, just in the moment, reacting to what was going on. I knew that I was surrounded by great actors. It was my first movie that I knew I was surrounded by award-nominated and award-winning people. Jeffrey DeMunn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rutger Hauer. They've all been nominated and have all won awards on many levels of their career, whether it was Tonys, Emmys, European shit, I don't know. I just know that I was surrounded by a greatness because I watched how they prepped, and I watched, Jennifer Jason Leigh's a method actress. I didn't really know what a method actor was when I was 18 years old. All I knew is that at the hotel, she was still in character all the time, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I didn't realize that was a technique, so I was exposed to new things at a very young age that had a major effect on me, and I was so grateful to experience that. And our DP on that film was John Seals, who won the Academy Award the following year for shooting a film called Witness. So we had major, unbelievable talent on this piece. So I had a lot of help in that movie. The score, Mark Isham, the score of The Hitcher is amazing, and like I said, I was just one piece in an amazing orchestra. I was surrounded by great talent, and that movie is a very underrated movie.
I would agree with that, and I'm sure everyone here, you're talking to the perfect audience who would concur with that, absolutely.
The broader part of that question is, are you able to sit back and honestly, can you rest kind of with a smirk, knowing that 2 out of your 3 notorious roles, or 4, the huge ones, have been remade, and those kids, you acted circles around them, 20 years ago, because neither Red Dawn nor the Hitcher remake, I feel,
Well, I would say yes until Robert Downey donned the blackface and kicked my ass.
Well,
That pretty much says
That
that.
just cooled my jets. So that's how you play a black guy.
Well, I mean, like, does it make you feel a little better about filmmaking that 20 years later you still had it then, as opposed to maybe how they're doing it now? I don't know if you get that.
Well, you know, as a young actor, man, I had it in moments and I lost it in moments. You know, you know, acting is not. It's never something. You know, I'll probably just wreck my career by saying this. Right now is the first time in my life that I feel like I really know what I'm doing. I feel like I can take something and kick its ass for you no matter what. You know, when I was 18 or 19, I read a Rolling Stone interview with Jack Nicholson on it. And he said, you know, in the interview, it takes 25 years before you know what you're doing as an actor. And as a young actor, I was like, what do you know, fucking old man? And, you know, I went on to be horrible in a lot of things. And now I know that I can do nothing in a scene. And when I say I can do nothing, it will be more powerful than if I'm trying to do something in a scene. When you're a kid, you want to do something in a scene all the time. So what you get is somebody that's trying hard, and a lot of green actors and a lot of young actors suffer from the same thing, which is just wanting to be good, wanting to be liked, wanting to be appreciated in their work. And you watch it, and what makes them not good is them wanting to be something. When you see a really good actor, like a Robert Duvall or Nicholson, or you know, what I'm trying to achieve now is just finding that gear where I'm not wanting to do shit. I'm just going to kick your ass and allow the moment to come to me instead of chasing the moment. When you go into a scene and you're trying to make something happen, and then you watch that scene, you see a guy trying to make something happen. But if you're comfortable enough to not care if something happens in this scene, and you let it come to you, and it may not come to you in that scene, it may come to you in another scene, but it only takes one really great scene in a movie to be great in a movie. But it only takes one bad scene in a movie to be bad in a movie. So you have to be patient, and it's hard to, I'm sure a lot of you are going, what the hell is he talking about right now? But it's a very important thing that I'm saying right now. You can wreck a movie by wanting to be good. But you can't really wreck a movie by doing nothing, you know, that Kevin Costner style of acting, which isn't my favorite. But he'll go through an entire movie and won't have any good scenes. But he won't have a bad scene.
It's a flat line. It's like a flat line on a medical heart monitor, you know. Nothing there. There's no there.
Does that make any sense at all?
Completely and totally. Did you have a question back there?
Yeah.
Oh shit, this is going to be all over the internet.
Oh, good
That's
God.
I'm sorry, Kevin Costner.
No,
I'm a huge fan.
He won't
You
see
can kill
it.
Dances with Wolves Part 2
He
right
won't see
now.
it. He won't see it. He won't see it. Okay. So,
Famous last words.
you were recently in the Spider-Man.
Tommy Howell goes up to Crypticon and never went again.
You heard it here first.
So you're recently in the Spider-Man reboot. Do you think if they had the technology that they do now and the popularity of the Marvel movies that they do now, maybe in the 80s, that maybe you could have been Spider-Man? Because you have it all. You have like the comedic, and you have the stunt background, and
Well, you know, man, that's a very valid question. I probably would have been the Tobey Maguire of the 80s in Spider-Man, you know. I would have loved to have had that opportunity. But, you know, I made different choices. You know, I had a weird thing go down. You know, I went off when I was 19 years old, and I did a movie with Franco Zeffirelli called The Young
Tuscanini, opposite Liz Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor was my co-star. I spent a year in Italy doing this movie. It was supposed to be, you know, an Academy Award blockbuster. And the movie went into litigation, sat in a courtroom for 3 or 4 years, and ended up never coming out. That didn't help my career at all. one or two of those, and you know they're looking for a new guy to wear the Spider-Man outfit. If you know what I mean. You know, Soul Man, for example. Soul Man was a very controversial movie. It tends to take more of a backlash today than it did in the 80s when we made it. Whenever you take a white guy and you put blackface on him, you are fucking doomed.
Yeah.
But that movie has some genuine heart and soul. That movie is an anti-racism movie. It pokes fun at racism. But a lot of people like to bash that movie, whether they've seen it or not. If you have seen the movie, it's genuinely a funny movie. And it's sort of a, it was a dangerous decision for me to take that movie. Would I do it today? Hell no. But I don't regret that I did that movie. But there's, you know, people tend to think today, oh, that was when his career went off kilter in the 80s. You know, my career sort of took a different phase when this movie Tuscanini didn't come out. And it cost a lot of money, and I was the main character. I wasn't the reason why it didn't come out. The producers bankrupted the company and put it into litigation. There was nothing they could do about it. For me to struggle through the 90s as a, you know, when I turned 20, I'd done enough work that was substantial. I'd done The Hitcher, you know, Secret Admirer was a great movie of the 80s.
I'm a big fan of it. It's just a classic kind of romantic comedy.
You know, those were all me playing different parts of myself. You know, when you're a teenager and you're playing a teenager coming of age, and you are a teenager coming of age, it's not a big step, you know.
Yeah.
But when you get into your early 20s and your mid 20s, and you start to not know who you are anymore, and you're becoming a man, and you're no longer a boy, there aren't a lot of roles for that. And that's when most child actors quit.
Yeah.
And that's when I just kept plodding along. And I ended up doing, you know, a lot of shit that I should have done. But, you know, as Michael Caine said, I've done a lot of crap. I made a lot of money. Now I don't have to do crap anymore. That's kind of how I feel. I'm still an actor. I'm not a restaurateur, you know, I'm an actor. And,
Right on.
you know, I would like to have Johnny Depp's career, but I have Tommy Howell's career, and I'm good with that.
Right on. So I think we got time for like one more quick question.
Yeah, man.
You, sir. 4 minutes.
But that's what I was trying to remember. It was Scott Miner, John Cunningham, that had directed Soul Man. I mean, they had made a change from horror to that.
Steve Miner. Yeah.
Steve Miner, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Well, Steve Miner did Soul Man first, but then he did, was it Haunted House?
House.
No, House. It was
Yeah,
House.
House.
With William Catt?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
House. So, yeah, he did Soul Man, I believe, first, and then he did House afterwards. And then he went on to be one of the creators and showrunners of the Wonder Years. So, but a great talented guy. And Steve Tisch, who now owns the New York Giants, was our producer. And all of us, you know, the real issue was we probably should have had a whole sort of black production making that piece, but it was a bunch of like, you know, sweet and innocent white people. And we kind of took some heat for it, you know, but the intentions were all good. I don't know, I guess we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we got to
Thank you
wind it up.
for letting
Yeah, thank
me.
you for coming by, you guys.